Good morning to everybody. Hello. In another world first, forget the EA podcast, that middling little grey show. We again are the first people to be, as far as I'm aware, David, up at 7:30
Ever.
Josh Speaker might have been up for 4 hours, but he's Australian, so it doesn't count. How you look at you wonderful man. You might have been a little bit late today, but you've gone to all this effort, haven't you?
I've dressed up in my big boy clothes. You know, it's a big day today for me.
Are you doing the classic newsreaders trick? Are you avec pants or without? Nice.
You do realise nobody's awake at this time.
Well, you're again, just to show that I'm the third most influential person. You're absolutely wrong. We've got a stalker as usual, Graham Wilson. Well done, Graham, for making it up.
Surely we can't let this moment pass without wishing Mr. Wilson a very happy 70th birthday. He doesn't look a day over 69, does he?
I know, and it's funny you should choose that number out of the blue there. That's yes, says more about your psychology than poor old Graham's. Yes, it is. It's very. Actually, we were planning to get away for a good little shins up, not shins up. That's not an even word, is it? That's like one of your words.
Shins up.
Shins up.
One of your words. No.
But we couldn't get away, obviously, because the government hates us.
So, you got anything special on today, Simon?
I have, my friend. So in true EA Masters Sunday Times, this is the reason I've been in this industry as long as it is. It's conference season. I don't care if it's digital, actual, whatever else. I've got my Sauv Blanc ready here. I've got my customary. I've got my poppadoms at the ready. I've got my champagne. No, what's that? Cocktail stirry thing here. I've got this. You'll know about this better, David. I got this with the cocktail stirrer. Was I meant to? It looks. Oh. I think they call this a muddler.
Do you need to put batteries in it?
I don't know. But it's got a very abrasive end. Anyway, we'll find out about that later. That's not for now. So yes, it is. It's EA Masters Day, and although obviously it's shocking that we can't be there and all of that normal stuff, it's fair to say I am a kid at Christmas again.
You made up, because today is Whale Overload Day for those people that are going to be joining the EA Masters. They're going to be able to see you simultaneously. Across 4 different channels, is that correct?
Do you want me to actually show it? Shall I actually?
Bring it on.
Let's see if I can bring this up on screen here. So here we go. Okay, so let's have a look here. Obviously, the kicking. I hope I'm not breaking any of Peter Knight's rules, because obviously otherwise I'll get pushed down that league table of Mr. Bradbury's. But yeah, if you can see here at the top, let's just have a look here. We've got Peter Knight kicking off the day in literally an hour and a half time. For, as he says, the biggest estate agency there. And then, as you just highlighted there, quite wonderfully for me, the way that it's working, David, just, there are 4 different channels. So they'll be streaming at exactly the same time, allowing there at times to be different speakers on, matching the different streams. So things like leadership or marketing. But I have wonderfully managed to, like the Japanese knotweed I am, make it onto all 4 of those channels simultaneously. So you simply can't hide from me, which is very exciting for as I said, an attention seeker like myself.
And how much have they paid you for this?
Look, we never go into detail. I find money vulgar. That's why I tried to get rid of it so quickly.
Doing a bloody good job at that, let me tell you.
But genuinely, I love it. Peter, when we spoke to Peter about how we'd get involved again this year, he was one of the big do's always used to be at the Sunday Times and before was they used to do the top 10 or top 20 ideas, and we thought that that was a really nice, obviously, way of Kerfuffle getting involved, because obviously we're dealing with all the suppliers all the time. And basically, as you know, I'm a bit of a train spotter. So thought it was a really nice way. So basically, we did realise that obviously if you look there at that list, it's basically 16 minutes of me, and then there is an extra special, and I won't ruin it, video at the end that nobody is genuinely going to want to miss. It's really is. It's an eye opener, a once in a decade style opportunity to see what's happening. And we're going to have me highlighting the top 10 in each of those streams. And then here's the really frightening thing, as I said, David. Anyone who's got tickets, I think you can still buy them on the day to day. You can actually still have 7 days of viewing. So anything you miss on the day to day, you want to, if you do have to rush out for an appraisal, you can still catch up on Netflix style. And the idea is you can go back and catch up on all the other innovations if you like what you saw in one of those there. So I think that's where digital has obviously, has got the edge over the traditional one, where sometimes you might miss a speaker because you're, out in the hall or whatever else. And it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be really good. And certainly some of the things that we've included in that top 40, I think are really, really showing how innovative a lot of companies have been this year, which is pretty impressive considering obviously a large part of that has been in lockdown.
And how many people do you think have taken the day off to attend what we're affectionately calling Whale Fest?
I honestly don't know. Look, I'd be guessing. I think half of them will be, in the office and taking calls around it. I think they will plot the things that they really want to see. I mean, we'll come to it later on, but Seth Godin, the marketer of all marketeers, that either sounds like a good thing to some people or horrific to others. Is obviously on later on. He's the showcase, and that is really worth pointing out, by the way, because as I said, I am disappointed we couldn't be there. But to get somebody like Seth, you simply wouldn't be able to get him in a traditional, actually turn up, because he'd be asking for hundreds of thousands of pounds. So it's really, really, it's really, really exciting, really, really good.
So you got him for £80,000 instead.
Yes, as I said, it's not. I was going to say it's not my money, but then, well, yeah, okay, fair enough.
We know whose money it is. No, they've done very well. They've got some very strong partners, obviously, this year, and loads of buy-in from suppliers. Pretty much, it's a who's who of your top-notch suppliers that you could hope to meet.
I think so. And actually, you just said there about those that, who would be attending on the day. You've got people like, obviously, the wonderful Simon Bradbury, for no particular reason, who has really, really made a fantastic day of it with his whole team. I think he's allowed them to work from home. He's got goodie bags from all the suppliers. He's got them watching the different channels so that they can actually compare notes afterwards. And I think, and actually, if I understand rightly, I think they did have the opportunity, if you bought tickets, to have Moneypenny watch your phones for the day, which I think is just a lovely touch, really.
That is a lovely touch on any day, to be honest with you. If you've got Moneypenny watching your phones, you're going to be fine.
By the way, that doesn't mean that you as a client can go and claim 365 of your bill back.
You just try and stop me, all right?
Okay, well, Joe Swash is going to kick my nuts in then for that. But anyway, see, there are people around. I told you there are people around. Look at this.
Tom McGee wants to know what the rules of the Kerfuffle drinking game today is.
Well, actually, we were going to get those up, weren't we? Let me just see if I can find them again. You fill in for me, David, whilst I see what we've got.
I'm just gonna hit the news very quickly. I'm just reading this morning's Pie, and one of the headlines is businessman linked to organised crime group loses 10 million quid of a property empire. What's interesting to me is that this is obviously a National Crime Agency investigation that's taken place, and it states that the agency secured an unexplained wealth order. Is that something you're familiar with? Have you ever had any unexplained wealth?
When the tooth fairy came to visit.
I know when you were a repeat, you had unexplained expenses orders all the time.
That was the other way, wasn't it? That was a debit. I'm not very good with accounts, but I believe that's the bad way, isn't it?
It's the bad way. It's the one where they go through all your accounts and sort of haul you over the coals. But that is a lot of money. But I've never heard of unexplained wealth. But I guess it's what we all used to. Good old fashioned. I'm sure that's just good old fashioned white collar, tax fraud going on there. Have you found what you're looking for, Simon?
Good. I have got. What again now? Let's just see if I can get it back to you. Here we are. Let me do stop sharing screen. Then a share screen, and then what have we got here? There we are. So this is our wonderful marketing team. Can you see that?
Let's have a look.
Is that up?
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the one we did during lockdown, if you can remember. So we wanted to obviously, contribute as only Kerfuffle can do in a completely non-productive fashion. So as many of you will be aware, the idea is you will have business owners, there will be trainers, speakers who tend to get into the same old rut of saying the same old things. So we created this during lockdown. We are in the process of just creating our EA Masters event one for today. So the idea will be that and please, everyone watching this morning, obviously those ones on the screen there, they were from a different time, almost worth a roll of toilet paper. Let's take that offline. What else have we got there? How do I share this screen? All of those things we laughingly used to do with Zoom. Now, what we need today is we need some ideas for what people are going to be talking about. The new normal, I think, is a guaranteed one to go in there.
The next normal, as Peter's calling it.
It's the next normal.
The next normal.
You know what he's done there, and this is a word in itself. He's pivoted, hasn't he? Pivot's going to become up about 300 times today, I would imagine. So get down to Aldi, get down there quick. You can claim all this back at the Kerfuffle off license, by the way. Just send your receipts into Simon Whale, and we will have this out hopefully in the next hour or two.
Fantastic. And what can we hope to see on there? Have you got any snippets?
What do you mean, on the day itself?
Well, yeah. Tell us what's going on today. I want to know.
Okay,
what I should be seeing, what I shouldn't be seeing.
Let me take you back. Well, let's have a look then in terms of, again, how do you do this stupid share screen thing? See, as Mr. Prop Tech, I should know how to do this better, shouldn't I? Let's just go back then again to the, let's just go back again to, can you see that all right on the screen? Yeah. Okay. So once you get past Simon Whale, across all those different ones there, you then do have, what have we got here? Our friend Josh Fegan, of course. He's kicking off at 9:45 with the new era, customers of the future. Josh obviously always knocks it out of the
Love a bit of Josh. Love a bit of Josh. Doesn't get better than Josh.
We haven't said friend of the show for a while yet to Josh, have we?
No, we've not. We're not heard from him for a bit, but I hope he's well.
Of course, he's going to be well. He'll be fit and.
Is this all? This is all pre-recorded? I take it.
No, I think there's elements of it that's going out. I think to make it as safe as possible, they've tried to get that. You don't want to be doing obviously feeds from all over the place, did you? Because I think everyone would have a heart attack if that was the case. But then we go down here to 9:45, securing future results. Rob Whittaker, improving your sales results. I think this one at 9:45 on the marketing channel looks quite good.
Bang on the money.
Aren't you? You're into your neuroscience, aren't you? Why we hate Zoom and how neuroscience can help. You got to love a bit of that, haven't you?
I want to see that. That's the one I'm going to be tuning into.
You
I
are
think I'm
tuning
going
in, aren't you? Yeah. You okay?
to
Good.
skip
Yeah.
the economic update with Roger Martin
Roger Martin,
uninappropriately.
well, look, he's the other Lib Dem in the village, which is why I love him. But his outlooks are absolutely fantastic, and I've been looking. You are able to see what people are planning to watch, and it's no surprise that Roger again is going to be one of the number one duns. Then we've got our friends at Ravensworth. They're going to be talking about print marketing to stand out in the post-COVID landscape. Your friend as well, Miss Broomham, recruiting
Oh, Miss
next
Truman.
normal. And actually, it's next normal. We're starting it off. Drink. Okay. Right.
You know what? I actually think that Nicola Broomham has got the best hair in the industry. I know
Thank you very
you
much.
and Jerry keep battling it out, but
Right.
she really beats you.
Stop pushing me on this. You know that I don't take this well. This
Oh,
is
put it away, man. Put it away.
People, Ian White implored me yesterday. He said, just get it cut. But
What
no.
are you waiting for?
Me to get back into a Weatherspoons? I don't know. I'm waiting.
You're waiting for another full lockdown so they shut down the barbers. That's what you're waiting for.
Yeah, that's it. And then
Get out there, man. Get it cut this morning.
David, you don't seem to understand. We're only at 10:05. This is what I'm talking about. You don't realise how much
Keep
is going
going.
on.
Keep going. Keep going.
We've got our friends Matt and Amy from Sprift, when Data Meta Agency. They've got a fantastic new. In fact, we've got a couple of businesses today that have got really good innovations talking about the letting side of the business. We've got Sprift here. We've got Spectre. Both of those you should keep an eye on. The number one, the fantastic. I don't think there's a better name than this. Is there, David? Is that Micus Opelts? That CEO of Giraffe 360. There's somebody who's making Kerfuffle sound serious.
I actually do like their product a lot.
It's brilliant. It's really good. It's really good. So I am the number one reason sellers instruct an agent. Again, great one there to have a look at. Looking down here, we've got David Anderson from Rightmove, trends that will shape the next normal. Now, don't you get on your platform about the portals, because one thing I will say about Rightmove in particular these events is they always, I think, knock it out the park in terms of giving you an overview of some of that great data they're sat on. And what they do, which is so clever when you've actually got an event there, is they have in the weeks, or I assume months before the actual show, been working on whatever the key analytics they're going to analyze, and they have a secret, sort of report for every single estate agent that attends the event, and just pop down to our stands and have a look at how these figures affect you. So I'm expecting we'll see some of the same today, although I don't know how.
And just to clarify, the only data that Rightmove and all the other portals are sat on is our data, agents. They're sat on our data. And the wad of our cash.
Yeah. What until you hand it over to Booming is the next one. Here we are.
Oh, do you want to talk about Booming? We'll do that.
No, we're playing through. We'll come on to them next. We've got 6 hours until we start. That's fine. Outstanding contribution. Obviously, we don't know who that is. Then we've got a bit of networking. Peter Knight will kick off the nice marketing essentials, nice to haves, and the wows. They're always fantastic. All changed for the 4 roles of leadership. So you can see here he's doing this across those different channels. Lessons from Property Academy's best agent and supplier members. Now, I must admit, getting to hear from some of the best agents about how they're dealing with the market, what their new challenges are, their opportunities, I really enjoy. I must admit, I know I'm a train spotter, but if you can't learn a single takeaway from one of these sessions, I genuinely I'll be really surprised. So obviously Peter finishes off there. Then we've got, in fact, we need to pick up with Fiona Blaney. She was meant to come on the podcast, and she bumped us, didn't she? So we need to make sure.
Not the first time you've been bumped.
It isn't. I'm not even by her, to be fair. Bigger, better, bolder. What's possible is but a rethink away. So she runs the lettings version of Arik over there. She's fantastic. People will remember her. She did spend time working with Peter about a decade ago. It's really, really good. We've got then who we got over here? Good versus bad disruption. That's Good Lord kicking off there. And then we have got the results of the home moving trend. So every single year, Peter does the largest survey of its type, literally reaching out to homeowners. It's shared around by a load of different agents, and they've got a staggering amount. I think it's about 35,000 responses this year, which is where vendors actually tell you what they value and don't value about your service. So if you're not using that to basically set up your strategy for the year ahead, to tweak it, to hone it, you're really just you're doing it blind. Basically, you're doing it from gut feel. Have a look at that and see there are always some eye openers in there. Okay, then
I'm with you.
David Smith here from they're talking about the importance of culture in the success of your business. That means Kerfuffle is screwed. Our friend Mr. Ellis had him on the show the other day. He's got a couple of really big things he's announcing today, but this Blueprint 2020 is exceptional. It really does give you, as it says on the tin, a blueprint to build your business with a strong land and new homes department. I'm imagining you would need some advice from a well-known consultant there, so tune in, but it'll be
Kevin's a man for that.
We've got protecting your landlords in the new normal. Again, we've got the guys from Vouch and Good Lord here. They teamed up earlier in the year, so that'll be interesting to see how they're making that. And then at 12 o'clock, we've got leadership in lockdown. That's Moneypenny, of course. So that's, I assume that's going to be talking about a bit more about the culture and everything else of the business there and how they're doing that. From Australia, apart from Josh, we're joined by our first Aussie at midday with Anton from Rex Labs, who are the new CRM players, obviously breaking into the market here. Got a couple of different, actually, they're not just CRM these days. They've got an interesting social media tool that people should be keeping an eye out with.
Okay.
We've got Land Tech over here as well. So why estate agents are best place to source land in their patch. So you've got a double whammy there with Kevin Ellis and Callum there from Land Tech if you're interested in that area. And then getting down to 10:25, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I'm hoping that marathon is a chocolate bar, of course, because you and I clearly don't do exercise.
I think they're referring to this itinerary. It doesn't let up, does it?
It doesn't look
here for everybody.
You know what? I mean, you would be mental to try and sit through the whole thing, back to back. But genuinely, if you notice, most of these are 20 minutes. Really, really tight sessions. That apart from my one, there's very little waffle. Phil Hesketh here, the psychology of sales and how to hold high fees. He's one of the Academy's regular speakers. I've seen him a number of times. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really good to watch there. Glenn Daly, another one from the Academy, the business model audit. I've sat in on that itself. That's a great stock check, if that is the right phrase, of your own business. And then finally, you'll be glad to hear, because I know by this stage, David, you'll be hankering for another glass of wine. Drink, and we can have a little break. And then we're into that difficult after lunch slot where they're trying to get you and me out of the bar, and we've got. And he is a friend of the show, Matty Hayson, the blue in all of Australia.
You've got a man crush on him, haven't you?
It's twitching, David. It's twitching. I am in a place. Now, we've also got Jeff Grout building high performance teams. Again, I would imagine if you're catching Nicola's session earlier, you want to catch that as well. And Steve Rawling. Do you know Steve Rawling, by the way? I don't know if you recognise the name at all, David. He was a former BBC journalist, and his whole shtick is about the power of storytelling. Now, given that I sold a business for nigh on £50 million based around storytelling, I can tell you that this really is. It's a fantastic session. And I'm always amazed at how
when you said it was based around storytelling,
Yeah.
You meant that your projected sales figures for the next year was quoted as being the greatest work of fiction since Shakespeare.
Yeah, yes, it was. Add a few zeros. That was always my approach. The next fiscal quarter, but just which year. Tune into him. Fantastic there. We got Joe Hay, then the robust board managing future exit and funding. We're all going to be exiting. You're going to need some help there. And then Peter, I actually don't know. I've never met him. Well, although I always say that, and then people say we've been best friends for a decade. But David Hyland again from Australia. Peter informs me, and I know of him from some of Tom Panis's interviews, talks about his ability for preparation of marketing material as being, absolutely world class. So look, we already sickeningly know, don't we, that the Aussies tend to do marketing exceptionally well. Oh, hang on a minute, what's it just done there? Don't know what's just done. So yes, try and catch him if you can do anyway there. So as I said, David Hyland 215. Then we've got David Wood in the 2 Times Profits channel talking about innovating to keep pace with disruption. We've got Artie Halay again. She's from the BBC. She talks about communication. I've sat with her on a couple of the Academy sessions where she literally films you presenting and talks about she works with executives on the power of helping them do interviews. When the likes of BP destroy the Gulf of whichever Gulf they're destroying at the particular time, they always send out the CEO, don't they, to do the I'm sorry. Artie's the person that allows you to deliver that with sympathy and honesty. Anyway, so we have then Robbie Anderson, Chimp Management. I assume that's a one-on-one session with me, leading through 2020. Tricky or treat. I see what he's done there.
Hang on. Where are you up to? I think you might need to scroll your screen up slightly.
Sorry, is it not showing?
No.
We get a minute. Let's have a look. Let's see where you are, and I'll see where I am. No, you're in the right place, aren't you?
Am I in the right place? Okay.
Wait a minute. Marketing, yes. We've got property management sales with Peter Knight. We've got profitable partnerships in the other stream with Peter Knight. We've got marketing in the new normal and leadership. So you see what he's doing. He's switching these around from earlier. But then, and this is where we need the drum roll, and not because it's sponsored by Rebit, a company oh dear, but actually it's Seth Godin. So Seth Godin for a full half hour, thriving and serving in changing times, dancing on the edge of a revolution. Honestly, he's absolutely fantastic. He talks about, he pretty much claimed the purple cow metaphor for standing out from the crowd. It would be very interesting, actually, when we go back to talk about the booming, whether the Bruces did steal the purple from that to ram that home, because it was about the same time, wasn't it? And then you'll be glad to hear, this is me winding up. So Seth finishes there. Last bit of exhibition and networking drink. And then we are into the main thing itself, the estate agency guide and the EA supplier guide, which obviously critically, differently to so many others, it actually reviews pretty much every agent in the country. And looks at loads of different data points and everything else there to come up with a hit list. And I think it is always very exciting to see who will do it. Now, David, you've passed out, I assume, from obviously all of that.
I am. Wow, you've excited me. Let me tell you.
So let me tell you how Kerfuffle can help. There's a lot of noise there, isn't there, David? Yes.
Wait. I've just had some breaking news that's going to sadden you.
Go on.
Can you see this?
Wait a minute. Let me come back. Oh my God. Oh my God. Right. We've got about 128 hours, David. Code red.
It will include Manchester, Liverpool, Newcastle, and Nottingham. My favourite 3 drinking towns.
Those Tory bastards, they are literally just trying to freedom. I'm not standing for this. This is bullshit.
This is what they call a circuit break, isn't it? Where They've done this in Scotland, haven't they? They announced it last night that for 16 days.
It's not a circuit break, David. It's breaking the wills. It's breaking the will of the populace. The only thing this Tory twat has next is to do prima nocta. Genuinely, they're just rubbing your noses in it.
They've got to do something. The numbers are rising, but interestingly, I don't think we're seeing the numbers of fatalities that we had in the first round.
Treatment's better though as well, isn't it? For the first thing, they have obviously learnt. There are a number of breakthroughs from places like Oxford, which famously do massively reduce the death rate.
Yeah, no, I think we're getting better at treating it, and I think they know what they're dealing with now with steroids and the intubation and everything else. I don't think they're so quick to put people on ventilators and all that. And supposedly, if you listen to what President Trump's got to say, he's got natural immunity.
Yeah.
Did you see that big fiasco he made about coming out of the hospital and ripping his mask off? And you could see he was stood there clearly labouring his
he couldn't breathe. He couldn't breathe, and I was, there's been a lot of talk from the right wing about, oh, look at the left, wishing him to be ill. Well, yeah, I am. You're getting me confused with the Buddhist priest. I'm not. When Donald Trump goes out there and mocks everybody for the disease, he mocks people for wearing masks, he mocks the handicapped and everything else. When he himself gets it, yes, that's karma coming around in a massive spade to get him. Now, David, can I just add to this, because there is a footnote here. I do appreciate, by me wanting to still go to pubs, that I could be the next news story in this, and there would be a certain sense of sort of, oh, well, that's interesting, isn't it?
It would. Do you think you'd make the property industry eye if you got it?
What do you think it's worth a go? Because I haven't been in it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing this yesterday. I mean, what's the best way of getting in the property industry eye? Either embezzle 10 million quid, and let's face it, you've been there, done that.
Aren't they cool funding rounds in PropTech?
Talking of PropTech, guess who had a little sneak peek at Boomin the other day?
Would it be a fantastically coiffured Jewish fellow sat opposite me?
Thank you.
Did you do it in the outfit to make sure you fit in?
No, well, you know what? Had I known that celebrities were going to be on the call with me, I probably would have dressed up a little bit. But what was interesting, and I can talk about this because they did not send us an NDA to sign in the end, so I can talk about it a little bit. But what was really
so you haven't broken anything legally, but morally you're quite comfortable with it.
Hey. I treat as I find, okay? And if the Bruce brothers want me to treat them morally the way they've treated me over the past few years, no problem, boys. Welcome to the show.
You genuinely sound like what's his face in Taken. Like, you're ready to deliver. I don't have any money, but I do have a particular set of skills.
No, look, listen. I do not believe in whitewashing the past, and I think that we've got to stay mindful of what we're dealing with. And anybody that is going to be handing over their data and all that sort of stuff to anybody, and not just this company,
come on,
needs to be mindful of it.
Okay, so you're out of 10, just instant. When you got off the call at the end, give it a score out of 10.
Ooh, for me.
Yeah.
For me personally, it was about a 5 or a 6.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I tell you what, the most impressive thing about the call was, so it was set up. I think there was probably about 8 or 9 different agents on it, non-competing from up and down the country. None of us knew each other. It was all done over Microsoft Teams. And the thing was, what was impressive was it was run entirely by Michael and Kenny Bruce. They
drink. That's one of the terms. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, is that a lilt you're drinking with an actual pineapple in it, or?
It's a
Oh,
totally tropical taste.
so
Um,
that or is the scariest looking sex toy I've ever seen.
it's just a plant pot, but I must tell you, it does taste fantastic. So
Okay.
the Bruce Boys took. Sorry.
Sorry, 5, 6 out of 10. And what were your takeaways as Mr. Watkins, a professional interviewer, would say?
My takeaways are that my biggest takeaway, and nobody can ignore this, is the vast amount of money that is going to be pumped into this little venture. Now, I don't know where the money's coming from, and I don't know exactly how much is yet to come. But their aspirations, I think they said something like that they achieved brand awareness, peak brand awareness for Purple Bricks within, I think it was within 24 months of launching. And they intend to do this in half the time, at least half the time. They intend to sort of get the message out there. And in order to do that, I think you are going to end up seeing booming everywhere. I think the way that they're trying to place it, from the look and feel of it, and some of the little bit snippets of marketing that we were able to see on the day, I think they are aiming for sort of a more young and hip audience. This entire model aims to sell different add-ons to the consumer. So where Zoopla have dipped their toe in the water of almost like Go Compare style sometimes for utilities and for all different mortgage products and whatever it may be, with Boomin, I think there's opportunities for people to sign up and start spending money on anything from home furnishings all the way through to utilities and mortgages and life insurance and you name it. And the agent is meant to be benefiting from everything that these people buy. So there are some nifty tricks, and again, it was all a little bit like the Wizard of Oz. You don't get to see everything because I think it's very much a work in progress. But it seems
that's not the Wizard of Oz. That's Hooters. You don't get to see everything.
I have not been to a Hooters in too long.
Are they still not out of lockdown then?
Too long. Do you not remember we used to have a branch in Manchester?
Did we?
Yeah, at where the AMC is?
Yeah.
The Great Northern. Wasn't there a branch of Hooters there?
But that's all built on a bloody Indian burial ground, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing ever survives around there. Okay, so let's take it back from strip joints, which of course I know you're obsessed with.
Sorry, we veered off course there.
So what would be I've heard a number of different things, obviously, and again, so I love just careless speculation and rumor and innuendo. One of the things that I've heard is to get whatever they call it, Premier, Platinum. One of the conditions is that you have to give across all of your data or as much data as possible to enable full integration with your CRM system. Did that come up at all in your session?
I think the only outstanding bit of speech that remains with me from what Michael Bruce was saying was that the data remains in the ownership of the agent at any time. But I think you and I have discussed this before. As with anybody, and it's not just with them, it's Rightmove, it's Zoopla, it's whatever. Once the data's out there, it's out there. We all know that there's a lot of companies that. Sorry.
You can essentially rewash it, can't you? You can kind of get.
You can, and don't forget. I mean, it's unspoken, but there are plenty of businesses, some very respectable ones, and some that are going to be very prominent at today's EA Masters, that rely on scraping data in order to sort of find properties that are on the market. And very often that data is being scraped from property portals. So once the data is out there, it will be used by a number of different people. But I think that the idea is here that they're trying to deliver a product to the agent that they're saying will be at least cost neutral, or will start to reward them as people start to spend money on that site. Whether or not, when I'm looking for a house, I do want to also buy myself furnishings in the same place, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a bit gimmicky, isn't it? I mean, I've seen a lot
Well,
of businesses try to do that, but I don't know whether that's the technology or
there's this funky little AI tool I think that they've got where you upload a picture of your room and then it puts, the furniture in it, and you can sort of start to you can start to sort of plan out your home, and the opportunity is there for you to buy all of those items as well. So look, it's interesting, but I don't honestly see anything here that nobody else can replicate. I don't see anything there that remotely represents any unique IP in any way.
we spoke about, you and I did speak briefly about this, and one of the things that we sort of said is that the staggering thing about Rightmove's power is that they get hit with that accusation of lack of innovation.
I like that, Zoe Ormston.
No, I thought you were just laughing at my brilliant point, but anyway, no. They get talking about a lack of innovation and everything else, but they do deliver a real simple solution for the consumer, which the consumer obviously likes because it's got the volume of selection and everything else there. But it's true to see that whenever you talk about these Rightmove killing ideas from whichever portal it is, Rightmove could at the 11th hour adopt many of these and just simply, just knock that competitor back to the floor again, couldn't it? From what I see, and I've never seen one that hasn't been the case with so far to date.
100%, and I think that I tell you what I worry about. I worry, and we have this anyway. So, for instance, if I said to you, Simon, I want you to go and watch some video on demand tonight, and I'm not talking about Pornhub this time. All right, actually. Let's use Pornhub as an example. If I said you wanted to watch online porn, you've got millions of sites you can go to. It is very, very confusing. So similarly, you've got Netflix, you've got Amazon, you've got Now TV, you've got a number of different things. There's a limit to how many people are going to engage with. Yeah. And so as members of the public, when you're looking at buying a house or renting a house, the reason why Rightmove have become so successful is because, for the most part, they became a one-stop shop for all the agents. It was something that was very, very common across the board. That 99% of all the properties being marketed will be found on Rightmove. And challenger portals, as nice as they are, it demands that the agents themselves promote those challenger portals to members of the public, in tandem with their own marketing plans. Yeah. So, look, I'm big fans of Home Search initially. We were talking about their product, their approach, and everything else. But to me, it's sort of all that buzz that was happening as they got towards sort of the end of lockdown in July and August, and it kind of peters out. And now it's time for the public to take, the public need to engage with these sites. You need to get public engagement, and I just don't know if
it's so hard, though, isn't it?
It is, and it needs me to turn around to my clients and say, "Hey, go and see all our properties on Boomin," rather than Rightmove or Zoopla or On the Market or Home Search or any of the other myriad of sites that we're on. So it's. I don't know. They're up against it, but they're going to spend a lot of money on TV advertising.
What do they need to do, David? Because let's face it, if you're a portal, at some stage in the evolution, you've got to hit the critical mass of having, I don't know what it is. If you're going to be taken seriously as a portal, 60-70% of all listings, because otherwise there's gaps of property everywhere when people search. They have to do to persuade enough agents to get to that critical mass?
Here's what they're going to do. I think they will do possibly what One Dome has I feel failed to do so far, because One Dome offers a service which is free at the point of use for the agent. Boomin are going to try and, if I'm not mistaken, give you this service free until 2022. Which is a long enough period of time for people to get hooked on it, Rightmove did this at the beginning as well, if everybody remembers. And every good drug dealer will give you your first hit for free, and then it's about getting you up.
Is that what they do? Is it, David?
Apparently so, Simon. I've done a little bit of research in my younger years. I haven't touched the stuff for ages and ages and ages.
There was that Tom Panos interview.
I'm back. But I think that's the plan. So basically, I think that why wouldn't you sign up to it if it's the latest thing? And I think what they're trying to do in terms of brand placement and also the style of the advertising, they had a little video that they released on that day, and it was a very sort of funky video tour. It almost felt like a kids' TV presenter was doing it. It was very informal. It was some, it was crazy stuff, and you'll have a look at it when it comes out. I think that people will sign up to it. I think that they will want to be aligned with it, and I worry that people will rush into it too quickly, because I do worry about the data. Just go back to some comments that have come in. Peter Lawrence has said, I feel it is for us to give them all our data and for that to be sold on to other companies like Pickford's and other suppliers. We all know how much data is worth. Big. So I think Peter's right there. I think ultimately portals do not survive without the data that is provided by those agents. We are the most important ingredients to that mix. And then you need to know what you're getting into when you sign up to these things, boys and girls and ladies and gents.
I thought, look at that. See, you've managed to intersperse a bit of actual knowledge and an opinion in the middle of what was meant to be pretty much a piss up. But so well done there. Again, that's why I chose you. I groomed you. It's not
that's why I chose you. I honestly believe that was one of Jimmy Savile's chat-up lines. You do know you're very lucky. You're very lucky to be here.
You were doing an anti-Semitic trope there. Dave, can I do a shameless plug, please? Because
go for it, my friend.
There's obviously there's that lot going on at obviously at EA Masters.
Yeah.
I've got to point out, you know Paul, but Paul's he's our little secret at the moment. He's an absolute fantastic techie, and over the weekend he created what we're calling the whale bot.
It hands down made my day. It's awesome. The one thing I love about it is the GIFs. It's the way that it sort of brings that humor into the mix. It's amazing.
Can we give them just an intro of it? Because I want to just
go for it. Go on.
Should
we give it a try?
I've just done it on here, so let's see here. So here we are. We start off obviously there, and then I'm gonna have to drive it, aren't I? So just so you understand what this is doing. This is taking you through EA Masters, asking you what your problems you're trying to solve in the business are, and then matching up not just the sessions, of which we've seen there's loads, but actually also the suppliers that are there today who can help you out with this. Now, that's quite a big claim, isn't it? I mean, we're starting to, if I wasn't sort of bullshit, I'd be claiming AI and machine learning. But it just asks you to kick it off, and let's just kick off with, and I've copied it into the Facebook pages, so anyone who fancies giving it a go, just words away. And here's something that will create fear in everyone, not just that photo, but that I am your virtual Simon Whale. Is this following us live, David? Is it working?
It's awesome. It's working there.
So I will also help you identify the presentations that will benefit you. I have been told I'm the third biggest influencer in UK prop tech. Not that I am shouting about it. And I have a few questions that will help personalize your recommendations. So let's just go really simply and just say sales, but you could obviously click whatever you wanted to. And then it will then just tick up the next box here. Obviously, Jazz, nice. What would you like to improve? So that might be you want to go for prospecting and market appraisals. We click on that there. All the time, it's then taking you down just another series of routes. Okay, of those, what ways of improving prospecting are you interested in? Well, actually, we're interested in proactive appointment generation. We're interested in automated marketing and nurturing. And I'll do market research as well, just to make sure that we get things match up. So it takes on board. The whale bot is whirring away. It's become sentient at this stage. Skynet is happening in the background.
And if you notice, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on this for 30 seconds and it hasn't yet asked you for the 3 digits on the back of your credit card yet.
Not yet. To be honest, we've already taken that information. We've already done ransomware. So basically, it will take you through this, but this is where we do obviously ask for the name. I won't take you through the whole thing there, David, but I think it was really, really important on it is please give it a go. We are getting a lot of great feedback. Charlie, if you've seen here, by the way, Charlie has just popped up. He tried it yesterday and started interacting. He's grinning because he thought it'd be a bit funny and go a little bit a cappella and ask who's got the best hair in the industry, and it confirmed it was him. So he's quite happy on that front. Now, to other people, by the way, let me just think that I think it probably feels more like this at that stage. Let me just let's just stop sharing that one. Let me share you this one.
I tell you what this reveals about Paul Morgan, by the way. Not only is he an IT genius,
yes,
he's actually got a very good sense of humor, because the way that whole thing interacts with the GIFs, it makes you chuckle. It's a fun thing to interact with.
He genuinely has. He's got kerfuffle running through that, hasn't he? So here we are. But this is obviously the idea of the whale bot being sentient is probably going to start to concern some people there, isn't it? So let's just have a look. Has this come up? Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
So here we go. So the idea of
understand that Terminator.
Oh,
what's going on? YouTube. Oh, it hates YouTube, doesn't it?
Out there. It can't be bargained.
Oh, fuck it.
I think what Mr. Whale was trying to say is that the Terminator can't be bargained with. It can't be stopped. It's relentless. And it's going to keep going till it claims every single last soul in the industry. Welcome to Kerfuffle.
Put your details in there and it will come for you at some stage. Is where we are. Is how you succinctly summarised it there, basically. But yeah, anyway.
Close your boots and your motorcycle.
That's very good.
I didn't know he was from Newcastle.
No. So what else have we got then, David? What else?
Well, what's the 1-star review? You've never had a 1-star review in your life.
I'm actually starting to choke up. What's the?
Don't get upset. It's only Zoe. She might be trolling us.
She might be. Anyway, it's all right. If she's put it on my review site, I'll delete it. No, I can't do that.
Okay, so we've done a comprehensive rundown of EA Masters thus far. There's lots going on today. You're going to be on hand. The Kerfuffle team are all on hand, and indeed, people can book appointments, can't they, to sort of see different suppliers and so on.
So you do need to get registered. So I know the Academy team were a little bit concerned because there was a few hundred people who were who hadn't registered yet. They're probably doing the last minute routine, but make sure you do get registered in good time, and you can literally plan your day out as we went through there. Click that, add it to your list, and then just make your way around. And the important thing is, as I said before, don't worry, you can't miss anything. It's not like like Glastonbury where you're going to miss the Black Eyed Peas or whatever else over there, because you can go back and watch this at any time over the next week. But yeah, do go and see all of the suppliers. Make sure you come to Kerfuffle first, because we've got some great deals with those suppliers as well.
Was that your attempt to be hip, the Black Eyed Peas? You're a few years behind, my friend.
You know what?
If anybody wants to catch anything, they'll be on stage. And
the thing was, I started losing confidence halfway through saying it. Black-eyed sprouts.
It's so bad, how old you're getting. Just out of touch with the youngsters.
We call the millennials drink. Oh dear, fuck. Before we go, because I've not really got much on actually today, other than getting changed out of my pants. Have you got any updates on the as he's just joined us, the Watkins Jerry Lyons Unholy War? Where are we up to there?
Yes, there's lots going on. So I'm gonna say, because we've got Zoe, who is Chris's manager, and we've got Chris, obviously, and they're putting a lot of effort into drumming up lots of industry support. So we see lots of videos from a lot of names in the industry. Clearly, who
can't remember one though, can you?
No, I can't. You know what? It's a who's who of Watkins clients. So if anybody wants Watkins client list, it's there. It's online. They keep posting it. Get on it. But they've got lots and lots of noise coming out at the moment from hashtag Team Watkin. But I've just got to tell you, I've got to tell you something. We are unleashing. We're going to go dirty this week, because I think we need to fight back. We need to push back.
Yeah, Zoe's been giving it a lot of that this week, hasn't she?
Do you know what's amazing with Zoe? She and I get on very, very well in real life, and I think she's awesome. But she doesn't half take a wind up very seriously, and it's got to the point where I cannot actually work out whether she hates me or she likes me. So yeah, no, she's putting a lot of effort into this.
See, she's so angry there. She didn't even actually have the time to type, did she? Look at that. Just you know, just angry.
Oh, there you go.
She's asked me. She asked me to declare my loyalty one way or the other, but I'm like Ohio in the States. I'm waiting to declare who's going to win, basically.
Talking of winning, there is an element of awards today, is there not, Mr. Whale?
There is very exciting. I mean, I love an awards. If I'm honest, I know a lot of people there. We've got Charlie up there, biggest award whore in the industry, and that's up against some very stiff competition. But me and Charlie really do live and breathe these events, and I think they are. On the one hand, well, you always talk about it, don't you, with your fabled chase for the Esther?
You know what? I'm not winning an award at this. I'm not going to get into the guide. I am just, you know what? I think I've resigned myself to the fact that I'm less than awesome.
I spoke about it earlier. I've got you your own special gift here. After cleaning it, I will
get in there.
We'll send it to you, and you know, just enjoy it.
It looks like something your proctologist uses for fun.
Yeah.
Here we go. What else? We've got Kerfuffle, vote Team Watkin, and we'll all boycott your. Ooh, dirty. See,
that would work if we were worried about viewers and anyone else, David.
Oh wait, I've got some. Oh, this is amazing. Donald Trump has come out with a bizarre rant claiming that God has blessed him with coronavirus.
No, it's the plague. Don't you remember? It's the plague.
Do you know what? If you've got a little bit of coronavirus like Donald Trump, and you've got the best medical care that money can buy, and you still come out of hospital looking orange, superb stuff. It really does fill me with hope for the rest of us.
Chris, you think us in our demographics will do okay then?
I think we're going to be. I think you're going to be okay. I think just stay away from the pubs, at least for a day or two. You'll be fine. We need a circuit break. Right. I think it's time to get on and do a little bit of work as well. Okay. You've got to go and mingle at the EA Masters. If anybody needs Simon, you know the number.
You can find us.
We've never done that before, but one day I am going to just leak that number online so that anybody can just, you know, probably you don't answer it anyway.
It's on enough toilet walls, David. Knock yourself out.
That reminds me, next week we will be doing a special on glory holes, so tune in then. Until then, I want to wish everybody good luck for today.
What's the right etiquette?
Good luck for today. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of people taking some well-deserved awards home. And then there'll be the rest of you that are just the in-crowd and Property Academy clients. Okay.
Just as one last thing, I said, obviously use the bot. Also, we are doing a virtual goodie bag, which lists pretty much all of the suppliers there, the special deals they've got. So you can download those and you can obviously talk to those suppliers. In many cases, they're saving.
And socks. You can order your socks online this year. There are plenty of people that are giving out socks online. So you get on there and sign up.
Well, to be fair, David, if we're due another lockdown, I'll need some socks.
Yes. Well.
Great. Okay.
All right. Have a great time, everybody.
Thank you for joining us. Good luck to everybody at the awards later on. Have fun.